In 1995, with the state takeover, the state did not take over the courthouses. They took over the salaries of certain court personnel. Counties, all of the counties, are still obligated to provide the courts with accommodations and facilities that existed as of 1995. By way of example, if there were 27 courtrooms in 1995, we are obligated to provide the court with 27 courtrooms equal to the amount that existed at that point in time. Because of this construction and the impact that construction now, the internal stairwell will have, and the interference it would have had with the operation of the courts, we will be losing 6 courtrooms. So since we are obligated to provide the state with those 6 courtrooms that are now going to be lost, there was a determination to build the new courthouse. So we are obligated to provide that.
It is wrong, but it is. Okay. Director Reyes, would you mind bringing up the county engineer with you as well? Because they might be helpful in kind of going through the overview of the project.
Chairman, I'll ask Nick Renna to address part of the question and the second part of it, which is the financial aspect.
Great, thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Regarding the question that was asked, regarding the date of 2000 was brought up because that was the original date that DCA came in and fined the county, not fined, but assessed the deficiencies in a letter to the county. The second date was 2005 that the state came in and essentially gave the ultimatum to the county, which is when we were brought in to do egress analysis to see how we can resolve the issues to meet the state's requirement for the building. Regarding the exterior stair tower, in terms of the design was fully completed, essentially 99%. At that point, the design was estimated by the county's construction manager based on OSHA requirements. There was an OSHA specialist brought in, J.W. Ruffalo, who assessed the property and what it would take to construct the exterior stair tower. The costs were coming in above and beyond what the original estimates had deemed. So you were in the neighborhood of plus or minus $50 million to construct an exterior stair tower. At that point, it was decided to scrap that portion of the project, and then to get the stair inside, which is a much cheaper option, we would have to replace the existing courtrooms that would be destroyed by moving the stair to the interior of the building. However, there may be some misunderstanding what's actually happening with the building. The building was sited, not only the tower, but the entire building was code deficient. So the entire building was either going to be forced to make the code modifications or be shut down. So you would be, in essence, losing all 25 courtrooms. Where you are presently with the construction costs for the interior stairwell and with the new court building, the county is saving approximately $2 to $3 million with both projects as opposed to the exterior stair tower. I'm not sure if I remember the other portion of the questions, but the new scope modification is going to be to take what was the exterior stair tower, which was a completely different design, and take that and move that to the interior of the building, and then thus modifying the existing structure on the interior and structural modifications, piping modifications, modifications to the floors. That's what this scope modification entails. With the court building, the court building was not part of this project. The court building was RFP'd, and I believe we were the lowest responsive architect to that RFP.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Tom?
And also the original contract for the exterior stair was RFP too. So Netta came in and started off an RFP. What he spent to date, this firm has spent to date, is $1.7 million. One of the concerns, and we all have that, is with the fully developed plans that we scrapped in essence because it's cost prohibitive. And the major change, though, and a major thing they mentioned before, is that the previous assignment judge would not permit us to lose any courtrooms in that building. And we complied with that request or demand. So in designing the exterior, we couldn't wait or negotiate too much because we still had the hammer of the fire code violation. So Netta proceeded and completed a full set of drawings and was ready to send that. We were ready to send that out to bid. The assignment judge changed, and we were able to build both the courtroom up, the building up the street, and a much cheaper modification of the existing building. We'll lose 6 courts, but they'll be made up the street, and the combined cost of both of those projects is about the same, a little less even, but about the same as just doing that stairwell and saving the old building. And I think that decision was made by the freeholders, and I think that's a good decision. Of the $1.7 million spent, about $315,000 of that went to documentation of conditions in the old annex and other parts of the overall building. That money was not wasted. It was used, and in fact, we did phase 1 of that project for $2.5 million, and that's done. That's a part of the thing. And the information, part of the existing conditions supported that effort. Also, what we did is, when the change came, we reallocated some of the funds to allow for Netta to do a conceptual plan of the interior stair with the initial 1.7. So we had some conceptual plans included in that 1.7. His new budget is a full design of the interior stairs, construction administration, and because of the presence of asbestos, it's an old building, so there's asbestos in it, including the plaster. And so his proposal also includes asbestos control during the construction. Because we want to keep that under the control of the architect, because of the complications of the needs of the sheriff, the courts, etc. We just felt that was good to keep under the control of the architect on the construction. So I guess that's where we are. We spent the money actually lost on a set of plans. I'm going to call it that, is about $1 million, and that's not good. But I think the overall project we're going to get now is good. And the reason we decided to do a contract amendment instead of going out and doing an RFP is just. There's no drawings of that building that exist, no structural drawings, no good. There's some outside, pictures of the building or kind of drawings, but not real engineering drawings. And that has been involved since the beginning of this project. And to bring on someone new would just not make a lot of sense, because there's a lot of intricacies and a lot of dead ends, tunnels, and not really that, but there's a lot of stuff that's in that building that's being there for the last 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, his staff, and he have a great knowledge of what's in there. And we just felt it would be appropriate to award it. And his fee versus the estimated potential cost of the building are well within industry standards. So we just made the recommendation not to do an RFP, but to continue on with that. I guess that's the summation of what we did.
Okay.